First, we are going to call for Harold Gray, husband of former council member Linda Gray.
Good evening, council members. Good evening, Mr. President. Thank you very much for this opportunity to say a few words. I want to start, and the principal reason I'm here is I want to say thank you to this council. I want to say thank you to the mayor's office, and I also want to say thank you to the city as well as the community in Delaware and Christiana Care. For those of you who don't know, Linda contracted a walking pneumonia, which was not apparent from symptoms that she exhibited. And I talked to the doctors about this a little bit, and they said that healthy folks sometimes experience symptoms that they believe are perhaps a cold or an allergy or maybe even a touch of the flu. But sometimes those symptoms are a little more insidious. And in Linda's case, when she arrived at the hospital and they took a CT scan, they realized that she had quite a serious case of pneumonia in her lungs. And Christiana did everything they could over the course of 4 to 5 days to save her, but it was unsuccessful. And so everyone is grieving. I also miss her, but I'm the luckiest guy on the planet in terms of having 55 years of wonderful experiences and memories of my wife. And we've been married for 51 years, and so clearly I'm going to miss her. And I'm in a pragmatic place right now because you may not also know that since the 1st of November, she was hit in 2 separate vehicles by 2 separate drivers in 2 separate cars that were both towed away from the scene, and she walked away completely unscathed. So I think God really wanted to take her back. He only loaned her to me for the time that I was with her, but he wanted to take her back, and he was not going to be denied the 3rd time. And so I think we all have to accept the outcome under these circumstances, and it's painful for sure. But I got to tell you, the amount of love that's come my way and the amount of support that people are standing in the void and helping me to work through these circumstances, this pragmatic place isn't going to last forever. I know one day when we have 20 inches of snow outside and we're trapped in our houses and I go around and start looking for who's there, I'm going to miss her. It's going to completely change my circumstance. So we'll all miss Linda, and, you know, under these circumstances, I simply ask that, she's left her fingerprints on this community. And so I'd ask this council to simply take good care of those fingerprints. I hope that the at-large members will slip into the void to continue uninterrupted service to the 1st District and the rest of the community. And the only other thing I can say is we have made arrangements. They're moving forward quite well under these circumstances. And I'm trying to keep my regular routine of working out, eating right, and making sure that I'm taking care of myself. And so I'm a little bit tired, and tonight I might sleep longer than I have in the past couple of nights. But thank you all very much for the support, the consideration, and the love that we have received as a result of Linda having graced us with her presence on the planet. Mr. Chair, Mr. President, thank you very much. That's all I have to say. I did accept one thing. There will be a viewing for Linda at the Chase Center from 4 to 7 p.m. on Monday. So if you have the opportunity, please stop by. Thank you, Mr. President.
D. Marquis Hall.
Right. Good evening. This morning I had on green for Jarena Green, and I put on gray for Linda Gray. When I would stand up here and I had a public comment to make, and I was taking a little bit too long to say what it was that I had to say, longer than 3 minutes. If it was important enough, I don't always feel that. I don't know. I don't know if I should stop. I always look right there to see if she motioned for me to go off. Because sometimes I can go off the wrong way, and I can be taken the wrong way, and the message can be lost. I thank God for her. I thank God for her life. I invited a member of my community, of our community, who she helped, who didn't live in her district, because other people who she called on couldn't help her, didn't help her, wouldn't help her. She's called me to help me. And she helped the whole community. Delaware Poor People's Campaign, she donated to. Because that's the fiduciary. Delaware Center for Justice. All the legislation that she made so that people could come up here and give public comment almost unhindered compared to what it was. So that people can voice their concerns, so that they could talk about what it was that the community really needed. Because this is all about family. Her husband just got up here and spoke. I don't know how he does that. I don't know how he does that. We got to lean on each other. We got to reach out. We have to be interdependent. We have to depend on each other sometimes. That's something that's not understood in our world of rugged individualism. I ran into Vash Turner earlier today, who used to sit right there. And we know he's in a wheelchair. This was up on 10th Street. He was going into Deco. And he asked me if I had the votes. He said, "You got the 7?" My name's Devon Hall, if y'all don't know that. And I live in the 3rd District on what used to be Poplar Street. Same street as Mrs. Oliver, same street Mr. Pritchett lived in. I'm 35 years old. He taught for 35 years. I didn't know his whole story, but I know that the community loves that man and they want that school to be named after him. That was amazing to see. One thing that is really depressing about my story is the fact that I've never had a black male teacher. I've never had a black man, a man who was my color, the same color as me, in front of the room, showing me the way to go. I've never had that in my life. I thank God for Mr. Pritchett and all the men like him, everybody that was able to raise up strong men, strong children, strong families. And I thank God for all of you doing the right thing here today. And I thank God for every representative that we have in our community that's doing the best that they can for us to grow, to live, and to be the best that we can be. I think about the house that needed the bathroom repaired. I think about Linda Gray making the call to make sure that the mayor's office did what they said that they were going to do, make sure that money goes to where it needs to go. And I don't have her to tell me to go, to tell me that that's enough, but I'm going to go now. And I thank God for you guys, and I thank God for you, and I pray that things go the right way. God bless you.
Sometimes it's how we see and understand a thing that we have in our midst angels who don't know they're angels. People, servants that don't know who they are, but they dare to do a job and affect and impress many people in our society. So we need to value them and understand them, that they were just simply public servants to do a job among humanity, among all human beings. I think that's the way we should value and appreciate our brother and how he did it, because he's a person of faith and spirituality. Because we know that nothing happens without permission of Almighty God.